guys, I'm Jessie, and today I have a little book haul for you guys. This one isn't as big as my normal book hauls because I really haven't been buying anything, but I wanted to kind of just show you everything that I have acquired within the past 2 months. Some of these were gifts. A lot of these are used, a couple of them, and then some were gifts from the author, and then a couple are BookBox books. So let's go ahead and jump into this haul. First, we're going to talk about my BookBox books that I ended up getting in the past couple months. The first one is Only a Monster Can Kill a Hero, and this was from the Fairy Loot box, and I'm really excited to get to this one. It sounds really cool. Apparently there's mermaids in it, according to the Fairy Loot thing, which I had no idea. So I'm really interested to see why I didn't know. The back of it says, don't forget the rule. No one can know what we are, what you are. You must never tell anyone about monsters. And honestly, that's kind of all I need to know. I don't really need a big in-depth synopsis. Honestly, I'm not sure if I would have bought this one myself. But since it was in my Fairy Loot box, I'm going to read it, and hopefully I will. Then I actually ended up with 2 copies of the same book, both from different book boxes, and that is The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. Yeah, this is the Owl Crate edition, which is really pretty and hardback, and I'm really excited to read it. And then this is a paperback with sprayed edges that came as a second book in the Illumicrate box. So, I now have 2. I will probably end up gifting one to a niece because I don't need 2 copies. I've heard, I think from Elliot Brooks, that it read a little young, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, but I'm going to try it out. If I end up feeling like it reads too young for me, then I will probably gift, I have 2 nieces that really like to read, I'll probably gift one to each of them. But man, they're really pretty. I really like the paperback. Normally I gravitate towards hardbacks, but this paperback is so pretty, I think. And I love that they did it. I had no idea they were putting a second book in there. So that's awesome. Then we have my favorite Illumicrate book I think that I've ever gotten. This book is so pretty. Illumicrate just knocked it out of the park with that one. And that is This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi. This is a Persian-inspired fantasy romance with I think a forgotten heir or a lost heir. And I think there might be forbidden magic in this, but I don't even care anything about that because look at this. Do you see how freaking pretty it is? And it's dust jacketless. This is the hardcover. And we know I'm a sucker for pretty books, and this just checks all the boxes. It's signed, it's gorgeous, right? And I really did like Tahara Mafi's other Shatter Me series is the only other one I've read from her, but I really liked that when I read it. Granted, it was so many years ago, a lot of years ago, and I never read the 3 follow-up books, but I really liked it when I read it, so we'll see. I'm hopeful for this one. Next, we have Forgotten Souls by Mackenzie Mon. This is the second book in her self-published fantasy series. I read Immortal Sands in January, fell in love with it, and rushed out to buy book 2. I think only books 1 and 2 are out right now, but I will be buying book 3 as soon as it's announced. As soon as she's like, hey, I got it, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm buying it. The first book in this series I actually talk about in my, I think, January wrap-up, but we're following this girl who escapes from this death prison. She's the first one in 1,000 years to escape, and she's on the run and basically trying to take down the ruling family with magics, and I love it. And it gave me a lot of Prison Healer vibes, and it was just so much fun. It was so good. So I picked this up before I even finished it, and I did finish it, and then I picked this one up because I need to know what happens next. Okay, so the next one was actually sent to me by the author, and it is another self-published book, and this is actually 2 books in this series, and the first one is The High Auction, and then this is book 2. They're so pretty. And when she reached out to me, I was so impressed by the fact that she says she did the artwork herself. and that she had been like working on these books and wanting to self-publish them and get them published. But there was an issue where she had to return, I believe, to India because of how her, whatever it was, worked. She had to return to India before she could publish it. And like she was stuck in the States and she finally got it published. And I just love the covers. And she designed them herself. She drew these herself. And they look like they're really short fantasy books. And I'm very excited to get to them. Like, I'll read you the synopsis of this one. And it says, in the near future, a machinist, a monk, a mesmerizer are looking for the source of the universe, but among the ancient scriptures, they only find the devil. Few humans in the future find secrets of what words and sounds can do. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for these. Like I said, I was wanting to read more self-pub, so I'm hyped. Self-pub, indie pub authors. And it's so pretty. And she signed them, which I love. And look, you can take the dust jacket off. And it's the same print on the hardcover as it is on the dust jacket. Like, y'all know I'm a sucker for that. Look. Okay, so that's super pretty. I didn't even realize that until now, is that it was on the hardcover. So pretty. Next, we have a book that I picked up from Thrift Books that I'd been wanting to buy forever. Could not find, and it was expensive because it's out of print. And for some reason, all I could find was foreign editions. And I didn't want the UK edition, which was super easy to find, but like I wanted a matching one with the rest of my series. And that is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Honestly, I don't love the cover, but I wanted the US hardback because I have the US hardbacks and all of my Cosmere books. So I needed it. And I know I am normally the first person to say, like, I don't need my series to match. I don't need my editions to match, blah, blah, blah. I wanted this one to match the rest of my Cosmere books. So it's fine. Is it the prettiest cover? No. Do I love this book so much? Yes. I love Warbreaker. And I wanted to own it. It was the only Cosmere book that I did not own in physical form just because it was so hard to find. And I thought about waiting and buying the leather-bound edition, but y'all, your girl's too broke for that. Like, I can spend like $30 on this book, but like, those leather-bound prices, I just can't commit to that when I just had to register 2 kids for private school and summer camp. So that was a lot. So I settled for just buying myself this one to match the rest of my editions. Then also from Thrift Books, I had a like free book credit after I bought that one. So I used that to get Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I have read this before, but I plan on rereading it. I picked up books 2 and 3 at the library sale recently because I did not own these and they didn't have book 1. So I just picked this up on Thrift Books. It was like $5, but like if you get the free book credit after you spend so much, which really is low, then it's like a free 5 and under book or 6 and under book. So I went with this one and it's a hardback. Like obviously it's used and it's a former library edition because it's got the plastic cover on it, but I don't care. I don't care. I just got done saying how I wanted my Sanderson book to match, but like, I don't care that it's a used library book. It's still gonna read just fine. And I remember really enjoying this series. And I actually really enjoyed the US version of the movie with Rooney Mara. I cannot speak, and Daniel Craig. I was really sad that they didn't continue on with the series. So I need to watch, I think it's the Swedish version of the films because I know they did all 3 of them. I also have not read like the continuation that I think the author's son did in the series, but I've heard that it's not as good, so let me know. And then the final book was a gift from my friend Josephine. She actually just did her first ever live show. She is the person that put on our traveling book box thing that we did last year. And I think we're going to be doing some more because those were so much fun. But we did a live show over on her channel. I will link that below. And we talked about, our experience with the box and with all the books and just how much fun we had. And she surprised me by sending me The Liar's Knot by M.A. Carrick. I am so excited. Thank you, Josephine. I loved book one, right? Mask of Mirrors. I adored it. I have, I believe, a full review if you want to check out my review playlist. But I still hadn't read book two yet. I actually have it on my Kindle that I got from NetGalley and still haven't read. So I'm excited to have a physical copy because honestly, I do better reading from physical copies than from my Kindle for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm very, very excited, and thank you so much, Josephine. All right, that was my haul for the past month and a half, 2 months. Honestly, I haven't been buying as many books. I am trying to read my shelves and clear out my shelves. As you saw earlier, if you saw it, I did like an exploding TBR where I picked out a bunch of books and I was like, if I do not read these, I will unhaul them within the first quarter. So I'm going to do that quarterly. And it was just 10 books, and I have 2 that I'm trying to get to this month, if not more than that. But, you know, I'm trying to clear out my shelves so I'm not shopping as much, but I'm also not being like, I'm not buying anything. Because, like, that just don't work for me. And I get book boxes, and I'm not going to stop getting book boxes. Especially since Fairy Loot just came out with an adult one, and I'm excited to get it. So that was my little haul for you guys. Let me know what you think of all of these books, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.